Hello and welcome to the weekend edition of National Focus. I'm Nisha Charles. Coming up, the Honorable Prime Minister addresses Roseau Valley residents, climate change mitigation comes to Bagatelle, and the government reports on housing expenditure for the past fiscal year. Details of our headline stories and more after this. Thanks for staying with us. The Honorable Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit and his cabinet continue to reach out to citizens across the country in what has been dubbed keeping it real in the community. The aim of these town hall style meetings is to explain to Dominicans firsthand the contents and impact of the 2015-2016 national budget. So far, government has met the constituents of Maho, the Kalinago Territory and the Roseau Valley. At Tuesday's meeting in Trafalgar, Prime Minister Skerrit expressed gratitude to the many who have taken the opportunity to interact with him, asking pertinent questions and making suggestions. The Prime Minister says he is pleased.
It is this type of interactive engagement that helps to influence and inform decision-making at the party, cabinet, and even parliamentary level. For we strive, however, and wherever possible, to reflect the views and address the concerns of the public in our undertakings.
In his opening remarks at the meeting, Prime Minister Skerrit expressed his concern regarding opposing views to the implementation of the Highway Improvement Levy. This levy requires motorists to pay $100 per year for road maintenance. Prime Minister Skerrit is even more concerned that 40% of road users in Dominica do not adhere to their commitment of license fees to the state, resulting in loss of revenue. This also poses a risk to other motorists.
Over and above this is an even more serious consideration of these vehicles not having the required level of insurance cover. Others have criticized this government for imposing the Highway Improvement Levy. But what they're not recognizing is the value-added benefit of being able to see and determine those vehicles that are not displaying the insignia and which, by extension, are probably not licensed or insured. How can anyone seeking to hold leadership positions in this country criticize a measure that will return order to road usage in Dominica and which ultimately will safeguard and protect the rights of citizens?
He says the levy is also a means of road users appreciating and taking responsibility for Dominica's road infrastructure. Proceeds from the levy are also intended to improve road etiquette.
Part of the money will be funneled towards public education. There are certain common practices that need to be stamped out in this country. And we'll be using part of the proceeds of that fund to impress upon motorists the need for greater maturity and responsibility in the use of our highways. Simple things like stopping and chatting or parking around a blind corner, traveling at excessive speeds, especially in areas frequented by visiting drivers, leaving children and pets unattended in a vehicle, not wearing seat belts, whether driving or as a passenger, playing music so loudly you cannot hear the approach of another vehicle, far less the siren of the police, fire, or ambulance vehicle. There's also the issue of throwing litter from vehicles, driving through rain and splashing pedestrians, and operating vehicles without well-functioning lights, whether at the back or the front of the vehicle.
Other key speakers at the Roseau Valley meeting were the Minister for Tourism, Senator Robert Tung, rightfully so as the Roseau Valley is the hub of tourist attractions in Dominica, and the Minister for Trade, Ian Douglas, as well as the Honorable Parliamentary Representative for the area, Dr. John Colin McIntyre. A project to mitigate climate change is nearing completion in the Bagatelle community. With the help of the Embassy of Japan in Trinidad and Tobago, storm drains are being constructed to protect lives and property in the landslide-prone areas. The The $130,000 project began 3 months ago and saw the construction of 1,000 feet of storm drains. The project is being undertaken by the Dominica Association of Local Government Authorities, DALCA. Yolande John-Joes is chairman of the association.
There is a first phase of that storm drain that was already donated by the GEF program, and that is the second phase of the mitigation project, and the purpose of that is to protect lives and property. As you know, here is a vulnerable area. There was already a landslide some years ago, and people lost their lives and people lost their property. So DALCA applied to the Embassy of Japan, and they approved 2 projects: the Bagatelle storm drain and the retrofitting of the Fonkole Resource Center.
The project was originally planned to be done under the Disaster Vulnerability Risk Project, the DVRP, where $11 million has been allocated by the World Bank. The Honorable Parliament representative says the funds can now be used to tackle other areas that need attention.
As you can appreciate, this whole area, the topography, it really makes it prone to landslides, and of course we're also a very high rainfall area. I've also been told, I'm informed that this storm drain also should continue to the southernmost part of the village. So maybe under the disaster risk program, we can just extend it to the southern part of the village down to the basketball area. So then the water in this area, the drainage water, the runoff water will be totally controlled.
The Honorable Parliament representative says storm drains in Petite Savanne, Dubic, Belleville-Chopin and Pichelin will soon come on stream. As Minister for the Environment, Honorable Daru says a number of projects will soon begin under the DVRP.
To complement government's West Coast water project, we have, I think, 8 or 9 water storage tanks about to be built to complement these water projects in communities as far north as Capuchin, all the way down to Salisbury, for what I've been told. These already, the preliminary works have been done. I think they've ironed out the issues of land ownership, etc. So pretty soon we're going to see 8 or 9 water storage tanks being built along the West Coast. In addition, we would have a number of massive infrastructural road projects in the east, for example, in the Pocassé to Bois-Deb area, Bois-Deb to Castlebruce area. In fact, the Dubic area is also going to be addressed, and a lot of this work, while they're not going to be road surfacing per se, but mitigation measures against climate change, the strengthening of old waterways, culverts that would otherwise have aged and no longer useful.
The project is expected to be complete in September. While Dominica, the region and the world continue to battle financial challenges, government continues, however, to insist on meeting the housing needs of the Dominican people. Jana Hector has this report.
Government's well-known Housing Revolution program continues to evolve to adapt to the growing needs of Dominicans. Every single resident of this island has either benefited directly or indirectly from improved and affordable housing thanks to the Labour Party government. The recently released Economic and Social Review for the past financial year, 2014-2015, reports that progress was steady for that period and that projects undertaken in that year reflect government's comprehensive approach to the housing challenge. This comprehensive approach means that not only is government assisting with housing renovations and building new houses for those unable to do it themselves, but low-cost financing is also being made available for those who wish to self-finance. Often, building materials are provided to those who can source their own labor. In addition to those options, an environment is also being created to make Dominicans self-sufficient as it relates to their housing inadequacies. Service lots are being offered for sale at very low rates in communities around the island. These lots make up new communities like Hillsborough Gardens in St. Joseph, Lily Valley in Trafalgar, Union Estate in Port Michel, Cotton Hill, Portsmouth, Cochrane and Platma-Pier in Collyholm. Just in those communities, a sum of 310 new lots. Capital projects for the 2014-2015 financial year include the acclaimed Silver Lake Housing Project. That project was the Honorable Prime Minister's initiative to move the families who had for over 30 years lived in dilapidated and unhygienic longhouses, conceptualized as a temporary response to 1979's Hurricane David. A 6-unit apartment building was erected to move the first 6 of those families. Bath Estate and Emsall were selected for apartment buildings to provide affordable housing for low-income families. Currently, both buildings stand ready for the 60 families who will occupy them. Sanitation is also a part of government housing program. Prior to this program, too many Dominican homes lacked sanitary washroom and bathroom facilities. $4 million have so far been spent to change that. A squatter regularization program is also holding its own as a component of the Housing Revolution program. Government is helping people who live illegally on others' property to rebuild their homes on a space of their own. Just last year, 10 families were relocated. In some cases, a nominal fee is charged to families to offset the expense borne by government to house them. Last year, just over $460,000 was collected. Still, in comparison to the bill footed by government, that sum is indeed nominal. For example, $10 million was spent to house just over 150 families last year. According to the Honorable Housing Minister, Reginald Austri, much more work yet remains. No doubt, to the scores of Dominicans whose housing needs have not yet been met, it comes as a comfort to know that Honorable Austri has assured that the housing revolution can only get bigger, better, and stronger. For GIS News, I'm Jana Hector.
Thanks, Jana, for that report. You're watching National Focus. More when we return.
Children, remember, adults should not ask you to keep secrets that make you feel uncomfortable. For more information on child abuse or to report suspected cases on child abuse, contact the Social Welfare Division on 33 Great Marlborough Street or call 266-3020 or 266-3080.
Welcome back. Director of Agriculture Ricky Brumant is pleased with progress being made on the Salisbury-Carhome feeder road. On Wednesday, the Director, Member of Parliament for the area, the Honorable Kelva Daru, Special Projects Coordinator Nicholas Esprit, and other government officials witnessed the commencement of work on Phase 2 of the project. Brumant sees government's intervention as a necessary step in engaging farmers and enhancing quality in the agriculture sector.
I have come on this road on several times with the Special Projects Coordinator, Mr. Esprit, who has responsibility for overseeing what is happening on this road. And we have followed the progress, and we are very satisfied with what has happened. More so for us in the Division of Agriculture, who is supposed to interface with farmers on their farms. It means that we are delighted to be engaging farmers, engaging them to put in new crops, new fields, establish new plots. We are very, very elated. We will be working with them. We have engaged a number of them already. And so we will move beyond just having abandoned plots into plots that will be opened up. And of course extend to them the support that the government is giving to farmers across the country.
The director indicated the ministry's plans to plant citrus, cocoa, coffee and root crops along the road in the Salisbury-Carhome area and conduct demonstration plots to allow for research. He says his division and government by extension will continue to provide technical and material support for all farmers.
They will realize at the end of the day their own incomes from farms, their livelihoods. They can take better care of their children. Of course, they can send their kids to school. And so this means a lot to us. And we give them the mandate to service farmers. We will do that with increased quality, increased purpose, and increased commitment.
According to the director, measures are being put in place to ensure the division's capacity to effectively cater to the needs of farmers.
our farmers in Dominica will get better service, better quality of advice from our extension and other units in the Ministry of Agriculture. We are building capacity of our employees in the ministry. We've increased capacity at management level of a number of people, employees, including all team leaders. We are now engaged in ensuring that all staff across the board, as supported by the BAM project, are very computer literate, all of them. So they are again having on-the-job training, retooling them, not only in computer literacy and applications, but also in a number of areas in production, in livestock development, and a host of areas across the board that would make them more efficient and competent to deal with farmers.
And before we leave, here's an announcement. The Honorable Parliament Representative for the Castle Bruce constituency, Johnson Drago, in collaboration with the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries and the Youth Development Division, invites the youth of the Castle Bruce constituency to a series of training sessions in fish pot making, boat making, computer literacy, and opportunities in agriculture. The sessions will be held on Friday the 21st of August at the Good Hope Resource Center and Monday the 24th of August at the Castle Bruce Primary School. All sessions begin at 6 p.m. Please make every effort to attend and be on time. And that's the English news. McPherson St. Luce is next with the Creole highlights.
Alors tout le monde, bienvenue à ces nouvelles en créole, non moins c'est McPherson St. Luce. Premièrement, travail rénovation qu'a en place à ce Health Center à Bagatelle. Membre Parlement, Honorable Dr. Kenneth Darrow, visite le projet là jeudi semaine là.
Well, nous Bagatelle, quand nous avons travail qu'a fait dans le Health Center Bagatelle. Si nous avons changé bien Health Center, c'est Health Center qui c'est un give out, ça nous a créé Brenda Strafford Foundation, ça c'est un foundation, charitable foundation au Canada. Et le Health Center fait combien de décades à cause, comme on recall, peut-être en 1980s, après 1990s, early 1990s. So, quand on s'est imaginé, Health Center, ça a bien servi. Et nous avons des low problème à Health Center, nous avons des problèmes avec l'électricité, nous avons des problèmes avec l'eau, avec le plumbing, et aussi nous avons des problèmes avec user readiness of Health Center. For example, la pharmacie n'a pas tenu une bonne place pour être assise et dispenser remèdes les moun. So ça nous fait c'est un projet qui coûte $190,000. I think I got it right. $190,000, $192,000. Il involve comme on dit, electrification à Health Center là, plumbing, tout ça, ça nous faire encore. Un patch, remodification, renovation, c'est pas ça dans Health Center là, c'est tout ces bathrooms là, et aussi nous changer pour bar pharmacie à une petite place là, ça assise confortable, avec un privacy pour dispenser remèdes, parce que ça c'est très important là où délivrer mon malade en médecine.
Alors nouvelle travail rénovation qu'a point place à ces chimie en Cahome. Une délégation gouvernement visité le projet la semaine là. Membre Parlement pour Saint-Joseph, Honorable Kelva Darrow, bien plaisir que le gouvernement Dominique a dans opposition pour bâtir chimie là.
Et puis aujourd'hui là, nous avons chimie Kahum, Bowie Heights. Ça c'est ça nous qui Farm Access Road. Et puis Premier ministre Skerrit et puis ministre de l'Agriculture Johnson Drago. Et puis, moi, je membre Parlement pour Saint-Joe, nous sommes allés en split tout, et puis, chimie la part est bon. Mais ça, nous avons fait aujourd'hui là, nous commençons actuel projet hot concrete pour faire chimie ça là bon. Et puis, nous avons des contracteurs Et puis nous moun qui a travaillé les chimie là et même je dis merci pour mes ministres Skerrit pour il fait l'argent là available pour ces moun là faire travail là aujourd'hui là.
Habitants plaisir l'occasion qui bénéficient de projet ça là.
Nous avons farmers Kahom qui a sorti Saint-Jo, qui a sorti Miro, qui a sorti Bawi. Et puis, ces farmers là, ils ont travaillé ouais. Si vous allez visiter les familles, vous avez Dashin, vous avez Yam, vous avez Ginger, vous avez Tanya, tout bagaille, vous avez planté là. Et puis, c'est ça nous les vrais farmers là fait. Le gouvernement, les farmers travaillent ouais. Et puis, petit chimie ça là c'est important. Petit farmers là, ils pour accès famille. Et puis nous savons, nous tous connaissons, c'est une controversie qui est rapide pour chimie ça là. Et puis le gouvernement can répondre in a practical sense. Petit, nous understand farmers là qui travaillent ouais. Et puis farmers là, ils ont besoin de chimie pour accès famille. Et puis aujourd'hui là, travail là, hot concrete commencé.
On a une nouvelle, plaisir l'occasion et puis résidents qui bénéficient du projet solaire qui est bâti en territoire Kalinago. Parole celle-là sortie du membre parlement, honorable Cassius Darrow.
Il y a plusieurs places qui bénéficient par ça. Par exemple, nous avons un resource center à Sineku qui est tapé en solar, en standalone solar panel là, qui est tapé en électricité. Nous avons capacity building center à Saint-Cy. Nous avons aussi health center à Live Yamaho, health center à Saint-Cy avec library avec Kalinago Council qui bénéficie par ça. Aussi, nous avons regardé quand nous avons fait l'école là, mais depuis l'école là, comme dit le gouvernement a occupé l'école là, avec maintenance, so, nous avons décidé pour ça faire ces buildings, ces structures ça là, parce que ces local authorities là, c'est eux qui pour maintenir et upkeep ces facilités ça là. So, il y a des bénéfices par ça. Et aussi, il y a les autres communautés qui pas d'électricité à un moment là, ça, qui bénéficient par ça.
Et puis, finalement, compagnie de l'Odowasco qui a créé à ces étudiants qui reçoivent un scholarship à l'école secondaire pour prendre l'éducation à eux sérieux. Parole celle-là, sorti de l'officier de relations publiques Edward Registre, quand des étudiants reçoivent un scholarship semaine passée.
Nous baillons avis, nous disons c'est faut y aller à l'école, c'est premier but. On passe à faire tout bac. On est pour aller à l'école, on est pour faire certains qui ou faire homework ou les teacher ba homework, on est pour faire homework là. Autant là c'est les gars sur internet et pas travailler l'école yo ka faire comme ça nous ka ingénieur nous ka encourager pour yo ça étudier avec pour yo faire certains qui ont fait tout ça yo supposé faire. Là à l'école, on est pour faire cette qui ou faire travailler l'école. Laisser vacances ou à sous vacances ou libre. Mais c'est moi où on est pour faire l'école. Faire travailler avec là où trouver succès. Là où on étudie, on veut trouver succès. On va faire content et on va faire tout le monde content. Comme ça, nous-mêmes, on respect pour ça faire ça. Aussi, nous dit c'est pas ni ces livres là nous avons. C'est les habitats ont besoin. Nous aussi là, comme compagnie, si vous voulez faire recherche, si vous voulez venir ici, demander nous check pour aider n'importe bitin pour faire l'école, nous ici pour tuer service ça aussi. Comme ça, nous là, nous ensemble avec eux, avec nous encourager à manière nous ça fait. Nous avons des autres travail pour faire, mais nous faisons temps pour eux aussi au besoin nous.
Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour Nouvelle en Créole pour à présent. Non, moi, c'est McPherson St. Luce. Ni un bon week-end. Au revoir.
Coming up next, what you should do during a lightning storm.
Child abuse is unacceptable. Child abuse is not cultural, it is criminal. And one child abuse is one too many.
For more information on child abuse or to report suspected cases on child abuse, contact the Social Welfare Division on 33 Great Marlborough Street or call 266-3020 or 266-3080.
It's the hurricane season and there's a chance that lightning storms can occur. Look for a large enclosed building when the thunder or lightning storm threatens. Avoid small sheds or partial shelters. Stay at least a few feet away from open windows, sinks, toilets, tubs, showers, electric boxes, and outlets and appliances. Lightning can flow through these systems and jump to a person. Do not shower or take a bath during a thunder or lightning storm. Avoid using regular telephones except in an emergency. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website, news.gov.dm. Like our Facebook page, facebook.com/GIS News Dominica, and follow our Twitter at GIS Dominica. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. From all of us here on the GIS News production team, I'm Nisha Charles. Thanks for watching and have a great weekend.